As it turned out, we didn't know we were flying over North Vietnam until that morning. So it was a big secret. Bill Schwartfeger was my pilot. We had never flown with each other before. Once we got hit that day, all things that we did were automatic. We had great plans. It was just tough to execute because there was no place to run, no place to hide. We spent the next day in a Jeep and we ended up in the Hanoi Hilton. Fast forward to my year in 1972, the torture, they did beatings periodically to make their point, but the North Vietnamese still wanted to work the game. You were either in isolation or solitary for a while, withhold medical treatment, give you their water instead of the purified water. They would deprive you of food that was kind of riddled with insects and maggots. The rooms were invaded by rats at times. You didn't really have a bed. You had a cement slab with a bamboo mat on it. There were two things. One was just the brutality of the environment. The other one was the total loss of freedom. During periods of captivity in the Hanoi Hilton or any of the camps in North Vietnam, there's an old expression, there's no atheists in foxholes. And that's true. Everybody prayed. You had to draw on certain things that would help you through it. A lot of it is faith and family. Prayer and faith were not foreign elements when I needed them to survive in a POW camp. I was born in Philadelphia, where all of my Italian immigrant grandparents migrated to when they came from Italy.
Ralph and I grew up in a typical Italian-American family.
We would have a baptism, have a first communion, a confirmation. They were very, very big events in our lives. They were as Catholic, but the Italian feature added to all of that.
We got together just about every Sunday with our grandparents, our uncles, aunts, cousins. The dinners were fantastic. The conversation was great. I thought everybody was like us. We were cousins, but we're more like brothers.
Coming back from Vietnam, they told us, you'd probably be met by your family, but they didn't know the details. It was my wife and my new daughter. It was my parents and a couple of cousins and my sister.
We were all standing on the flight deck. The plane had landed. When the door opened and he came out, we just charged.
My mom was restrained by my cousin Bill, saying, you can't be the first to meet him. It really should be his wife and his daughter.
I don't care if they had 10 Marines there holding her back, she was going to get them. And sure enough, she takes off and no one got in her way. It was like trying to stop a raging bull.
He had to hold her back on the tarmac because she would have certainly outrun my wife easily.
I took Christine and passed her on to him. He had never met her. Of course, his wife Rosemary embraced him, and Mom and Dad embraced him.
I remember my mom saying, typical Italian mom, you're really skinny. I had lost probably 40 pounds. Of course, with an Italian family, food will fix all ills. My wife was really occupied with bringing up our daughter Christine, and she was kind of the binding force for this family, both in terms of helping my parents and my wife.